Okay, yeah, nice to meet you everyone, Tommie, Eaton. So for me, I believe that the circular economy is the most important strategy for us to work towards living sustainably globally, mainly because it encompasses all of these other aspects, incredible aspects of sustainability, whether it's net zero, whether it's the sharing economy, whether it's water preservation, whether it's all other areas. I think the circular economy is this umbrella, but it also provides this really simple idea, a very simple concept, and a very simple framework in which the whole globe can work towards. So I think if the circular economy is done well, it can become a way of life for people, which allows all four corners of the globe to work together instead of, at the moment, we have this kind of north-south divide with everything. So what is the circular economy? In simple terms, it's a system designed to reduce the amount of waste that we have, but extends the life and extends the life cycle of materials that we take out of Earth. Our current model that we have, this linear model, is very much extract raw materials out the Earth, create these products that we will use very little of and very little time, and then discard that into, a lot of the time, it's landfill. Whereas what the circular economy does, it just extends the life cycle of these materials, keeping them circulating in a system, helping us to reduce the amount of extraction needed for raw materials, and also engages people into a kind of a bigger conversation. So let's look at a practical example. As Sarah mentioned, I work with an organisation called Clean the World. We recycle hotel room amenities with hotels and recycle them into new soap bars and new plastic products. Our current linear model will extract the raw materials out of the ground to create this bottle. It will then go into the hotel. It will be used once, and then even if systems are in place for that to be reused and recycled, and even if the bottle is recyclable, a lot of the time this will go to landfill because of it's contaminated, it's unclean, and it's not beneficial for recyclers. So it's such a waste of resources. Looking at kind of some facts, currently I think the UK government said 44% of household waste is recycled, which sounds pretty good, but when we compare that to commercial waste, it's around 6%. So there's so much extraction of raw materials for it to just be used once and go into landfill. So what the circular economy does is, and this is just a practical example of what we do, but it takes this bottle, puts systems in place to turn it back to a pellet or a nurdle. This will then go into a new product. This product can have another life cycle of its own, and then at the end of that product's life, it will then be made, for instance, this board. It can have a whole life in itself, and with systems in place, it can be then go back into a pellet or a nurdle, and then, who knows, it can be made back into the bottle. So we're just creating this circulating of raw materials and really just appreciating the full potential of that raw material. But that's just one example of the circular economy within hospitality. You look at closed-loop linen systems with bedding. You're looking at oleo and food waste and composting. Preservation of water and reusing water. There's so many different aspects that hospitality as a whole can tap into. But for me, there's three reasons why the circular economy is the most important aspect for us to focus on. One is simplicity. Secondly, it's that simplicity allows it becoming accessible for everyone. And then finally, it provides really simple, tangible results. I'm conscious of time. I knew I was going to waffle. Simplicity doesn't, other strategies are very much a top-down approach. The simplicity of everything and the fact that it's accessible for all allows this bottom-up approach where everyone can get involved, whether it's an individual who wants to buy less, recycle more, and reuse products and clothing. The list goes on, or a business who wants to drive innovation and find new ways in which we can reuse and use materials in better ways. 20 seconds, that is awful. But to summarise it up, the fact that it's simple, it's accessible for all, and it provides this tangible aspect that empowers people to take action, we need to not forget about that. So a big aspect I always like talking about is We are very passionate. Ah! Oh, that's so annoying.